Alright farmers, welcome back to the channel. So today we've got some new mods. Right, first the updates. We got the use of leftovers. This is by the Lort, and in the changelog it's got increased desk version to 64, added planet silo. Then got the storage piles for earth, roots and stones by Zodelzoct, and that's got a capacity increased, optional roof added, optional lighting added, switch box added, switch inserted and information panel inserted. We then got the seed potato farm by Dazed, and in the changelog for that it's got fix the bag seed potatoes and premium potatoes dynamic mount collision, should now be able to pick them up using a forklift. It also says please be aware that there is a problem with the Grime RH. It no longer works inside the building since patch 1.3. You're still able to use it to make box potatoes, which you can then hover over the sorter intake. We then got the Case IH Puma Tier 4B by Blower, and in the changelog for that it's got minor bugs fixed, original CNH rims added and new details added. Then we got the Massey Ferguson 3700 and 4700 series by Agrotron Modding, and in the changelog for that it's got fixed AI problems with the bonnet, added new configurations, added rim colour configurations and added tractor colour configurations. Then we've got the Massey Ferguson 5600 series. This is by CNG Mods and KRKZ Modding, and in the changelog for that it's got the rims have been changed, front and wheel weights have been changed, the gearbox has been changed to Dyna 6 power shift, added quickie console in front loader configuration, LED beacon light option added and fuel consumption increased. We then got the Fendt Vario 900 Gen 6 900 Gen 7. This is by Schnibble Modding. In the changelog for that it's got indicators placed in the correct position, light set to correct position, animated fan, added power, power plus, profi and profi plus, fixed visual floors, added Fendt Vario 900 Gen 6, added isobus function. And the last update of the day is the Class Lexion 8900 5300 by Gef25. In the changelog for that it's got added pipes with smaller diameter, added animations for the cabin belt drives separation system, improved particle system, added GPS configuration available only with guidance steering mod, optimized grain tank, added some details, optimized model, adjusted materials, optimized decals in cabin, added speedometer icons and reworked the lights. So that's your updates for the day. And the first mod we've got is this one in front of us. This is the hunting pulpit. This is by Dideck96, 3.77 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it in the construction menu under decorations and others. So we'll scroll along to find it. There we are. You've got two options. Got the darker one, darker wood, or the lighter wood. So I've gone for the lighter wood one here. This is just for decoration purposes. Obviously you can use it for, well, whatever you like. A bit of bird watching, I suppose, keeping an eye out and anybody coming to mess up your farm. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is Nations Flags. This is by Hispano, 1.1 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find these in the construction menu and under decorations and others. So we'll start at the beginning, because there is a few to choose from, obviously depending on what country you're from. You've got the 4 meter one, which is the shorter one, and then you've got the 10 meter one, which is the larger one. So we've got one of each in each country's flag. So we've got Germany, we then got Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, France, England, Italy, Spain and USA. So that's your options for you. Obviously I've placed the England one down because that's where I'm from. So if you want to fly your flag with your home country, if it's on the list, very nice. Right, next up is the Placeable Street Lamps pack. This is by Mech Mods, 1.7 megabyte on the download. You're going to find these in the construction menu and under decorations and lights. So the options we got there, the first one there, Street Lamp 1. We then got Street Lamp 2, Street Lamp 3, Street Lamp 4, Street Lamp 5, and then Street Lamp 6 on the corner. So obviously you got the one, and then you got a few different options there for you, culminating in the 4-spoke design at the end. So if you want to put a bit of light on your farm, obviously these have come along at about 6 o'clock ish at night. That's what they normally do with the lights. There's no switches, they are automatic. Light up your farm area for you. Next up is the Equestrian Arena. This is by Black Swan Modding Team, 6.15 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu under decorations and others. So there it is, 58 grand to place down. Now it is rather big. But then again, you're going to have your horses running around it. So you're not going to want it too small either. You just get on your horse like that, jump over the different things. Don't even need a horse, I'll just do it myself. Why not? Ah, that's alright, that is. If you're into your horses, you want a bit of exercise, jumping them around. Very nice. Right, next up is Free Charger. This is by Cookie Cat, 0.14 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu under buildings and tools. 8 grand to buy, sorry, not 6 grand. And obviously place it down, and this gives you free charging according to the website. So if you are running an electric vehicle, pull it up. Obviously it's got the solar panel on the top. Get your vehicle charged up. Very nice. Right, next up is the honey production. This is by Switty003. You're going to find this in 2 different places. So first up, you're going to want to buy the beehive itself. So if we go into the construction menu, like so, we go under animals and bees. We'll scroll along. There it is, 19 grand to buy. Now what you're going to need as well is you're going to need to buy some bees. That's interesting. Interesting indeed. You're going to have to actually get yourself some bees to go in there, which I have done, mind you. For these, if you go into the pallet menu there, we scroll along to the end, 1500 for 500 litres of bees. Can you measure bees in literage? Okay, we'll carry on. So you click on there, it's got a production style chain to it. So obviously 1 bee gives you 50 litres. Now what's going to be interesting at that is once the bee does the honey, does it then fly away? Because if it does, you're going to have to keep bringing bees back. Anyway, we'll start it up. Let's load some bees in. Just like that. Load your bees in by that icon. And we'll go in there. There we are. 500 bees. Well, it does look like it's going to use the bees up as a commodity. Very interesting. Okay. We'll carry on. Right, next up we got the extended Meridian silo. This is by John Wayne 1930, 18 kilobyte on the download. And you're going to find this in the construction menu and under buildings and containers. So we've got 2 options there for you. So we've got the stainless steel fertilizer tank there, and then we've got the liquid fertilizer tank there. So come up to there, click on that. Solid fertilizer going there, up to 60,000 litres. And then you go on that one, liquid fertilizer up to 173,500 litres. I mean, 230 grand. Oh, that's a lot of change. Alright though, if you're going to buy your fertiliser in, might as well do it that way. It's very easy. Alright, next up is the old fuel station. This is by FSSA Modding Team, 5.80 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu and under buildings and containers. 2 grand to buy, place it down, 20,000 litres this holds, so why not place a whole diesel tank next to a new electric charging point? Yeah, why not? So obviously you click on there, buy your diesel in, 20,000 litres, and you pull your vehicle up to that pump and fill it up. Very nice. Right, next up we got the farm silo package. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy, 3.15 megabyte on the download. You're going to find these in the construction menu and under containers. So we've got the 3 options there. The first one, silo 1, 16 grand, holds 27,300 litres. Then you've got the middle one there, silo 2, 16 grand again, 27,300 litres again. And you've got the third one there, silo 3, 25 grand to buy, 54,300 litres. So like the previous ones that we've just seen, click on that. Have I placed them too close? No, we're okay. So this is going to do seeds, mineral feed, solid fertiliser. Then we'll come over to that one. That's going to do seeds, mineral feed and just seeds. So no solid fertilizer on that one. And this one, seeds, mineral feed, and back to seeds. So, like the previous two we've seen, you want to buy your stuff in, this could be very nice. Right, next up is Old Polish House. This is by Gold Fox, 7.21 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu under decoration and others. 8 grand to buy. Obviously this hasn't got a sleep trigger with it, so you will need to add one of those down if you're going to be placing that down as something for you to use as your base house. That being said, do you like that? Nicely detailed. I mean, especially around the front. It's got all the stuff out the front, like bikes and that. Ah, very nice. You could easily put a doormat down, or even that duffel bag. It's already got a doormat there. You can just replace it. Then you got switch the lights on when it gets dark. Yeah, I like that. Very nice. Right, next up is Machine Hall. This is by M9C Halleck. 3.83 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu and under buildings and sheds. 50 grand to buy. Obviously place it down. Be a bit careful with the landscaping because it is going to make a mess of your field. So, if we go into it there. Open that door. Nice big area. No lights, mind you. Open that door as well. Then we can go in, open that door as well. That's alright. I mean, you want an area for storing your vehicles or equipment, or even like pallets of whatever you've got on the go. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is the cow breeding pen. This is by Brummy Farmer, 0.29 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it in the construction menu under animals and cows. 75 grand to place down. It's a bit on the large side, mind you, but alright, we'll carry on. So that's where you're going to take your milk out. That's where you're going to put your feed in. And because this is a pen, this is where you're going to put your water in. For some strange reason, it hasn't given us an animal dialogue box, which is a bit random. Let's go try that again. Maybe it's because it's on the edge. So we'll place another one down. Yeah, because the animal dialogue box is right on the end there. Okay, must just been how I placed it. Fair enough. Right, so we'll have a little run over there then. So that's a top tip for you. Make sure you place it okay. We'll click on that. 45 cows to put in. Now it says on the mod website, it says breeding pen for cows before putting them into larger pastures. So the whole idea behind this would be you put your newborn calves in, feed them up, fatten them up, whatever, and then move them on to a barn later on. Obviously it doesn't work like that in the game, mind you, because you don't have calves at the moment unless there's a mod that's brought out, but I do like the premise behind it. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is Shed for Bales. This is by Team JZD Vid Hostis. 4.18 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu under buildings and sheds. 50 grand to buy. Place it down. And obviously, Shed for Bales. I mean, that's the name of it, but it's just a shed, really. You could put bales in any shed. There's no sort of production chain shenanigans on the go. You could even put vehicles in here if you really wanted to. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice, nicely detailed, like the concrete post there with the metal poles coming out of them. It's a bit strange on how it is worded in the name. Yeah, that's alright though. Right, so next up is the tuber storage. This is by FSPT, 0.88 megabyte on the download. You're going to find these two in the construction menu and under buildings and silos. We'll scroll right to the end. So we've got an option there, potato storage, and then sugar beet storage. Now they've got 500,000 litre capacity on both. Obviously you load in the front there, and then round the back is where you take out. So we'll click on the spanner there, refill silo. That's very interesting. So if you didn't want to do the work yourself, you could just buy the stuff in. That'd be quite handy with potatoes and sugar beet, because they are rather time consuming to get done. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is the pallet storage and logistics. This is by John Wayne 1930, 0.70 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu and under production and factories. So we'll scroll along. There it is, 50 grand to place down. Now, this is supposed to be a middleman for your production chains. So if you come in here, go to the production menu, obviously all the stuff gets sent in here. Now, according to the website, it says the pallet storage and logistics warehouse enables you to store and distribute standard product pallets between your production buildings by using the standard production function. So that's the premise. Obviously, if you've got other production chains on the go, you click on distribute and it's supposed to send them here, and then it will store them here, and then you can click distribute again and it will send it off up the next chain, or you can actually sell it directly from this warehouse. The one thing I thought was strange is I've got a pallet of sugar here, so I'm going to load this in. So all you do is pull over the unload icon. Yeah, that goes in nice. Okay, but it appears there straight away, ready for you to take out. So what's going on there? I mean, if we scroll down here to the actual output mode, we'll go to sugar, we've got it on storing, but it's put a pallet out the front. Surely that would have only appeared there and it's ready to go, wouldn't it? But that's the whole point of storing stuff in the warehouse. Unless I'm missing something, I don't know. Oh, it could be, it could just be me. Most probably is. That being said, the whole idea of having this as a middleman is brilliant, actually. You know, you got loads of stuff coming out your production chains, your greenhouses or whatever. Set it to distribute and it will just send it straight here. I think that's a great idea. Right, next up is the Cowshed 3+3. This is by DMI 20mm Normandy, 10.53 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it in the construction menu and under animals and cows. 300 grand to buy. It is rather large, I must admit that. I mean, it holds 200 cows, which is good, but it is rather large. You're going to need some space for this. So obviously this is the area you take out your slurry from. I like the wooden pallet over there. We can even open it. Oh, look. I'm stuck. I'm in the pit of... Yeah. That's ace. Oh, you can open the... That's brilliant. I like that. Can you open that door? No. Try this one. No. Oh, we can open this gate. There we are. So we'll go in. Ah. It's alright, this is. Okay. I've got stuck on a railing there. I like that. Opening the gate to take out the slurry. That's brilliant. I mean, like running down the side here, you just see how big it is, because that's huge. Right, here's your animal dialogue box. So click on there, 200 cows, job done. And obviously you take out, what's that? That's going to be your milk tank, isn't it? Take out milk tank, open those up. Yeah. Now, according to the website, because there's no triggers on here, you're going to load all your feed and your straw in through these two doors here, and obviously through the double doors at the other end. So, and it says as well, manure can be removed by adding, or by using, sorry, the second door from the front left next to the milk tank. So this is where your manure is going to spawn, this side. So you're going to have to shovel it out. So none of this putting a... Hey, up there's a trigger there. Oh, I've run over it. Close the gate. Ooh, that's interesting. Open it up. There you are. That's where you put all your food in. Oh, I like that. I like this barn a lot. That's got two great things on it. I do like the fact you've got to shovel out your manure. Now, I suppose you could just place a manure pit down and it should automatically go there, but then, you know, adding into the immersive feel of everything, you normally would have to shovel out your cows. That's ace. I like that. Very nice. Right, next up is the fillable plastic box. This is by, I'm going to apologise now for the pronunciation, Suede to Roller Bauer 0.13 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under pallets in the shop menu. So this is going to hold 1,000 litres, but it's going to hold pretty much everything, all bar liquids, grapes and olives that the game can throw at you. So 350 to buy. So if you wanted to stack some stuff up in pallets, fill these up. Job done. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is the Howa GS 2600. This is by AW Modding ABP team, 2.08 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under front loader tools. So this is a manure grab fork. It's got a 1500 litre capacity, 4,450 to buy. There is no options. It comes in the Howa orange. So going along with that old cow barn, mind you, got a load of manure to dig out. This could come in quite nicely. Right, next up is the Dalbo Grass Rollers Pack. This is by Hispano, 8.01 megabyte on the download. You're going to find these two under Grassland Care. Now, basically, these are Grassland Care versions of the standard power rollers from Dalbo there. Obviously, to do your grass meadows, which is interesting. So, you've got the 1230 HD, 32 grand. That's going to require 140 horsepower from your tractor, 12.3 metre working width, 11 mile an hour working speed. The options you got are wheel, brands and tyres, usual shenanigans. Change the main colour, go for yellow, and change the rim colour. Obviously changes the rims. Now if we go into the 2430, same options, but this requires 330 horsepower from your tractor, 24.3 metre working width, 13 mile an hour working speed. So if you've got a big open field of grass that you need to be sorting out, these could come in quite handy. Right, next up is the Great Plains GP3P 1006 NT. That's a bit of a name, that is. This is by Madar HR, 7.06 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under Cedars. It's got a 1200 litre capacity. 3 metre working width. Dear oh dear. I mean, that Great Plains planter that we got was huge, and this is only 3 meters. Oh, what's going on? It's going to require 100 horsepower from your tractor, and it'll run at 9 mile an hour, 29 grand to buy. There is no options, but 3 meters, that's tiny. Oh dear oh dear. Right, we'll carry on. Right, next up is the Trailer Coeco 160-1. This is by Farmer22, 3.20 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under trailers. So it starts off with the extension already added. So if we take that off, it's got a 12,600 litre capacity, 16.5 grand. Then you can have the extension on. It's going to put the price up a little. 22,500 litre capacity. You've got usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. You can then have an extinguisher. Have it left or right, or both, back to standard, and toolbox, so standard, left, right, left and right, then back to standard, and you can change the chassis colour to orange if you want it, grey or orange. So the main cab stays as it is. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is the MUK 402. This is by Kyler Modding, Rick Black labelled TWD Modding, 15.48 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under trailers. So this has got a 55,000 litre capacity. As standard, it's going to come at 80 grand. Now, obviously, you've got some options there on the wheel brands and the tyres, usual shenanigans. You can have a cover. It comes with it on as soon as you come into the menu. Or if you don't want it, it saves you £1,000. And then you got the chassis colour, you can change to any one of those. The design colour is then going to change the main body of it. 55,000 litre capacity. That's alright, that is. Right, next up is the Joskin Transspace 8000. This is by Bodowek Team, 6.53 megabyte on the download. You're going to find under trailers. So this is going to hold 31,000 litres of whatever you've got on the go. I mean, it holds pretty much everything apart from the usual things like grapes and olives and that. 52 grand, sorry, to buy. Usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. You can then change the rim colour to green, either yellow or green. Again, like the previous two trailers, they're alright, they are. Yeah, very nice. Right, next up we got the Stratman PS2201. This is by LS Agrar Ole, 4.23 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this under manure spreaders. So this has got a 26,600 litre capacity, requires 180 horsepower from your tractor, 24 metre working width. Brilliant. 9 mile an hour working speed, 76.5 grand to buy. The only options are the wheel brands and the tyres. 24 metre spreading width on that. That's ace. If you got a load of cow manure, yeah, we'll call it manure, 24 metres. I like that. Right, next up is the Fendt Tygo XR75. This is by Landev, 6.67 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it on the forage wagons. So this has got a 42,000 litre capacity, 200 horsepower requirement from your tractor, 12 mile an hour working speed, 124 grand to buy. Usual shenanigans, wheel brands and the tyres. You can then add a silage additive tank, yes or no. Change the main colour, jet black, yes. Oh, that could match up with me Black Beauty. Oh, keep it Fendt, very nice. Then we change the second colour, we'll go with a red. Changes those little bits on the back really though, not much else. Change the main colour 3, we'll go with red again, changes the frame. And then rim colour obviously does the rims. So if you've got a Fendt farm on the go, this will fit in very nicely. Right, next up is the Kuhn Disco Land XM52. This is by Madar HR, 14.12 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it on the disc harrows. So this has got a 600 litre capacity for some strange reason. It's going to hold a bit of seed, that's why. Although you're not going to be able to do too much. You can do what? Oilseed radish, canola and grass. That's about it. Alright, fair enough. 220 horsepower requirement from your tractor, 6 metre working width, 11 mile an hour working speed, 44 grand to buy. No options, comes as it is. So if you're into your disc harrowing, this could be very nice indeed. Right, next up is the Fliegl Longneck Combi Plus. This is by HR Forst and Ferguson, 2.38 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under forestry equipment. So it's going to cost you 3.5 grand to buy. The only option you got is to change that colour. So we'll go for blue, changes the grab. You're going to be using this, put it on the back of your tractor to move some stumps out. No, not stumps, logs, sorry. Obviously the stumps you're going to have to grind out. So once you chop the trees down and you want to move some logs out the way, hook this up to the back of your tractor and get them shifted. Right, next up is the Agricultural Convoy Pack. This is by Sphinx and Tom, 0.41 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under weights. So you've got the two options. You've got a pallet version or you've got a normal sign version. So if we're going to go into that. So this is going to hook up to the 3-point on your tractor. You've got an agricultural convoy on the go. Obviously just lets everyone know you've got a load of tractors coming through. So the options on this one, on the pallet, so you've got old pallet, new pallet, back to old pallet. And you've got without fire extinguisher, extinguisher 1, spin it round, there you are. Extinguisher 2 is on the front. Then without extinguisher, and then we'll change the main colour. It's going to do the frame part, like so. Then if we go into the normal sign version, the only option you got there is to change the colour of the frame. So if you've got your mates on the go, and you're doing a massive harvest somewhere and you're all coming back at the same time, chuck one of these on the front and the back vehicle and tell everyone what's going on. Right, next up is Signal Bar. This is by Nikudu55, 2.96 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find this under weights again. So this is going to cost you 2 grand as standard, weighs 370 kilos, so you could use it as a weight, but not really that sort of thing if you're going to be using it for what it's designed for. So the options you got there on design is going to be none, convoy, oversized load, wide load, 3 points, and then none. So obviously you could put that on your 3 points and then have another 3 point attached to it, and have the signs out the side. That's very nice. And you got the main colour, changes the frame, then design colour, we go with purple. Changes the extendable arms. Now according to the website, this will go from 2 metre to 4 metre wide. Ah, that's alright, that is. Right, next up is the Lizard 3-point logging blade. This is by HR Forst and Ferguson Bell, 1.24 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under forestry equipment. So it's going to cost you $1,200 to buy, 1.7 meter working width. 1.7. Okay. Says on the website this is a logging blade is used to push tree trunks and chop material. That's rather small. If you're pushing like wood chips and whatever, that's 1.7. Okay. Main colour, go for any one of those. Design colour, then we'll do that. Changes the side bits. Obviously attaches to the 3-point. Yeah, 1.7. Definitely too small. Right, next up is the Lizard Bale Fork. This is by David Martinez, AM Modding, 1.17 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under Front Loader Tools. So this is going to cost you $1,700 to buy a standard. And the first option you have is 2 bales, then 3 bales high, and 4 bales high. Oh, that's really tall. And back to 2 bales. Oh, I like that. 4 bales high. Very nice. Right, next up is the ZJVF 3.2. This is by Farm Andre, 6.78 megabyte on the download. And the first one is going to be found under animals. So it's got a 3,200 litre capacity. It's going to cost you $2,950 to buy. The options you got there are fender, yes, no, and then back to yes. Standard setup for the wheels, wide tyres, and back to standard. Change the main colour. We'll go over red. Rim colour obviously does the rims. So if you come out of that, that's saying it could do milk, water, liquid fertilizer and herbicide. And the second part of this mod is the same name again, but obviously this is under slurry tanks. So same capacity, but it's got a 5 meter working width and a 9 mile an hour working speed. Same price, same options as before, but this is obviously going to do your digestate and slurry. So pick which one you want to go for. That's all right, that is. I mean, 3,200 litre capacity, it's not that great. Then again, if you're starting off, could be all right. Right, next up is the Uni Plow 6. This is by Goldfox, 3.77 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under subsoilers. So this is going to require 150 horsepower from your tractor. Oh, 3 meter. 3 meter working width, 7 mile an hour working speed, 10 grand to buy. The only option you got there is to add the warning signs there. I mean, would you be able to, yeah, you should be able to pull something behind that, wouldn't you? Because that's got the pass through for the PTO. I mean, 3 meters still is tiny, absolutely tiny. We'll carry on. Right, next up is the Hurleyman H488. This is by MTL Modding Team, 10.51 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under small tractors. So this has got a 90 horsepower engine, 26 mile an hour top speed, 45 grand to buy. Usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. Then got 3 points, no or yes. Put that on the front. Front loader attacher, no. Quickie, Howa, and then no. We'll change the main colour. We'll go over blue. Yeah. Interior colour, we'll go over red, because why not? Roof colour, oh, let's go over purple. Okay. And then rim colour, just to make it properly garish, we'll go. I'm gonna stay to that. Dear oh dear. Obviously older style, more boxy design to it. So if you want to fit that into your roleplay, probably not go for the colours that I've picked there, mind you. You could have something that looks a little bit better. No, that's all right, that is. Right, next up is the Massey Ferguson 5600. This is by Longneck, 12.7 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this under small tractors. So it starts off with a 105 horsepower engine, 24 mile an hour top speed, 88 grand to buy. You can then change the engine horsepower. So 105, 130, then back to 105. Usual shenanigans on the wheel brands and the tyres. Got front loader attacher, no. Quickie, Howa, and then no. Then you can change the main colour to any one of those. A small tractor, got some little jobs around the yard to do. That could be alright, that is. Right, next up is the Massey Ferguson 6700S. This is by Alice Agra Ole, 9.72 megabyte on the download, and you're going to find it under medium tractors. So it starts off with a 150 horsepower engine, 31 mile an hour top speed, 122 grand to buy. Usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. And we'll come down to design, no, yes. Just puts an exhaust cover on that, really, doesn't it? Okay. Then you've got design again, Datatronic 4 terminal, Datatronic 5 terminal, so that changes the terminal in the cab. Then you've got warning signs, no or yes. And they look like they're going to fold out as well. Okay, front loader attacher, then got no, quickie, Howa, and then back to no. So an engine setup, so 150 is standard, 160, 175, 185, 200, then back to 150. Change the main colour to any one of those. The design colour then changes those panels, and the rim colour obviously changes the rims. Ah, very nice. Right, next up is the Massey Ferguson 6 and 7 series. This is by Agrotron Modding, 33.39 megabyte on the download. You can find all these on the medium tractors. Now, this is strange because we've just seen that 6700S there, and then we got another 6700S. That's part of a different pack, all on the same day. Dear oh dear. Right, so the 6700S there has got 150 to 200 horsepower engine. The 7710 has got 175 to 220 horsepower engine. And then the 7720 has got a 225 to 280 horsepower engine. So if we go into that one, because all the options are the same, got the usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. Then got design, EU, US, puts those indicator stalks out. Then you got fenders, yes, no, then yes. Beacons, no, yes, and then no. Triangle, no or yes. That puts that on the back fender there. And attachers, we've got EU, US. Spin around again. There we are. Then front loader attacher, we'll spin around the front. No, quickie, Howa, and then no. And obviously you've got the different engines in the different models. Main colour, go for any one of those again. Design colour, we'll go with a green, changes the roof. Design colour again, changes those panels. And then rim colour obviously changes the rim. Oh, chrome. Yes, very nice. Now all the options are the same on all three, so you pick whichever one you want to. Right, next up is the Massey Ferguson 8700S. This is by Alice Agra Ole, 15.43 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under large tractors. So it starts off with a 300 horsepower engine, 31 mile an hour top speed, 250 grand to buy. Usual shenanigans with the wheel brands and the tyres. Then you've got engine setup. So you've got 300, then to 325, then 350, 400, 405, then back to 300. Change the main colour. Why not go with black? Design colour again changes those panels. And then rim colour obviously changes the rims. Why have I picked a Black Beauty colour scheme? Gone for a Fent colour scheme on a Massey Ferguson. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, we'll carry on. Right, next up is the John Deere 7R. This is by Fotty. 15.62 megabyte on the download. You're going to find this part in large tractors. So it starts off with a 290 horsepower engine, 31 mile an hour top speed, 247.5 grand to buy. You then got the wheel brands and the tyres, usual shenanigans on the go there. Got design, EU or US, puts the stalks out the side for the indicators. You then got decals, yellow, green, or yellow. You're going to want to keep it yellow really, don't you? Otherwise, you're not really going to be able to see it. Okay. Display GPS, no, yes, or no. Obviously, on console like me, you don't have the GPS. That's just for aesthetics. And attacher, you got 3-point. Front loader, 3-point again. An engine setup, so 290 is standard. 305, 332, 352, 373, 388, and then back to 290. You change the main colour to black. Ooh, black John Deere. Interesting. We'll change the rim colour. No, that's design colour, that was, wasn't it? What did that change? Not a lot, to be fair. Now we'll change the rim colour. Oh, all in black. Yes, why not? And then to finish off that pack, we've also got the 700M front loader module. So this is going to require 290 from your horsepower, although that is part of that pack with the 7R, so it should be alright. 15.5 grand to buy. Again, the options you got there, decals, yellow or green. And change the main colour to black to match the tractor. Oh, I do like that. John Deere in the black. Very nice. Right, next up is the MAN TGX Crusher. This is by HR Forst and Ferguson. 28.8 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under forestry vehicles. So this has got a 500 horsepower engine, 49 mile an hour top speed, 180 grand to buy. Now this is brilliant. You can crush up your wood on the go. That's ace. Obviously you are going to need to have a trailer to chuck all the wood chips out into, but I like the concept behind that. That's brilliant. So the options you got there, wheel brands and the tyres, usual shenanigans on the go. Then you got windscreen stone guard, no or yes. You then got beacon lights, no or yes. And then warning bar, and then back to no. Flashing lights, no, yes, and then back to no. Sun shield, no. Small, big, then no. Spoiler, no, yes. With exhaust. With exhaust, that didn't seem to change much. Oh, there you are, but it's the exhaust around the back. Okay, carry on. Then back to no. Got bull bar, no, yes. With lights, and then no. Wind deflector. Oh, we had wind deflectors. Oh, they're on the windows, and the side windows there. No or yes. Then you got roof bar, no, yes. With lights, and then no. I can't imagine you'd be able to have that with the spoiler, are you? Oh, you can. Excellent. And then sun shield, plexiglass, plastic. Where's the sun? Oh, we haven't had the sun shield on, have we? So if we put that on, big, yeah, there we are. So plexiglass, plastic. Oh, there you are. So you either have plexiglass like that, or plastic matches the body colour. Then the engine setup to 500 horsepower standard. You then have 640, 880, and then back to 500. Change the cabin colour. Pink, why not? Crane colour, we'll go over green. Change the crane on the back. Claw colour, obviously going to change the colour of the claw. Crusher colour, we'll go over red. And then the rim colour obviously does the rims. Chrome. That's an interesting colour combination, I must say. I must admit, right, putting the colours aside, that is a great mod. If you're doing logging and you want some wood chips on the go, that is brilliant. Right, next up we got the JCB TM320S. This is by Shardy and Boniek. 7.99 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it on the telehandlers. So this has got a 150 horsepower engine, 24 mile an hour top speed, 112 grand to buy. The only options you got are to change the wheels and tyres shenanigans on the go. Yeah, obviously if you hook this up with a manure shovel on the front, with that cow barn that we've seen earlier on where you got to muck it out, oh, that's well tidy. Right, and our last mod for the day, this is the Alice Chalmers 8550. This is by Julian F Modding, 11.37 megabyte on the download. You're going to find it under large tractors. So this has got a 302 horsepower engine, 19 mile an hour top speed, 136,100 to buy. The options you got there are wheel bands and the tyres, usual shenanigans on the go there. Then you got terminal, no, yes, well, GPS terminal or phone stand. Both, and then notes, obviously console like me, that's just for aesthetics. And exhaust, standard, straight pipe or standard. Now this is the first time I've seen Alice Chalmers in the game, mind you. Obviously an older style vehicle. articulated as well. Put that into your roleplay. Very nice. And just to finish up, we have got a new map. This is North Beach by the Lord, 58.98 megabyte on the download, and keep an eye out for that. We'll do that in a separate video. That's the last mod for the day, so that's it, done and dusted. Drop it in the comments below which one's your favourite, which one you're thinking of using. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, it's muchly appreciated. But for me, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.